Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. It's Monday again. Oh my goodness. Our house guests of the day are Randy Westgard and Rosemary Gross. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla, baby. And before we get started, I also want to thank our super chatters from Saturday because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Jody Cortez, Angela H, Camila Gamba, Autumn Pond, Sean Davis, Annie 8, Wendy Will, Dawn MH302, Susan Pengilly, Darby C, Christine, Mary Ellen L, Nakul Suresh, and the G of Guthrie. Oh, wait. And Sam Reuter and Christian. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Seriously, you're amazing, and we appreciate it. Hey guys. All right. So we've got a lot to discuss here. Oh my goodness, how things have changed in the last few days. I mean, the target's still the same, but opinions on people have changed. Anyway, when we left off, the house guests were playing the power veto competition. The players, just to remind you, we've got the HOH Heisum, we've got the two nominees, Riley and Cameron, and then we've got 3 extra players, America, Matt, and Blue. So Riley was freaking thrilled looking at this lineup because when you look at this, it's like a slam dunk for her, right? It's Heisum, which is like blah for her, but then all her friends, whatever. So it looked like it was going to be good for her, right? Riley is Heisum's #1 target, but his backup plan was changing leading up to this competition. Originally, Heisum was thinking Cameron would be his new target if Riley were to come off the block. But now, right before that comp, Heisum is feeling like he can somewhat trust Cameron and wants to keep him as a number. I don't get this. Like, how do you trust him when he just turned on his alliance in week 1? He cannot be trusted. No. The first whiff of things going awry, Cameron jumps ship. Like, why would you trust him? But anyway, it was looking like Blue was becoming Heisum's backup target, which was a little surprising to me because he was the one who initially approached Blue about working together because they're both part of the LGBTQ community. And he was saying, like, I would never go after you, but apparently he would. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal was, if this was a super long competition, if maybe they rolled in something with the Nether region twist as well. But the feeds were down all through Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Yeah, the feeds came back Sunday morning. We'll get there in a second, but I just want to touch on the Nether region as well. The last we had seen, Jag was responsible for picking one person to block from playing the power veto competition. So he picked Bowie. Why though? Like, it was such an odd choice to me. There was some talk maybe she like volunteered. I believe she is claiming she did not volunteer. So I don't know why he picked Bowie. It seems like a really random choice, but I guess we'll get some more clarity on the episode, right? I don't know. But anyway, the feeds came back Sunday at 9:17 a.m. Big Brother time. So that means they were down just under 19 hours. I believe it was like 18 hours and 59 minutes. Again, no idea why it was so long, but okay. It made my life easier today, I guess. So we find out pretty quickly that Heisum won the power of veto. Oh my God. That's his second POV win. That's his third comp win in a row. So Heisum's target went from like here to like here, and he's not doing himself any favors with it. I'm wondering now, is he going to end up being like a pre-jury boot? Well, anyway, now that Heisum has the power, all the power this week, he is not planning on using the power veto. He still wants Riley out, and he's confident that it's going to be a unanimous vote. Oh my God, he's got the HOH-itis. He's got the tunnel vision. He thinks that the other side is going to flip their votes against Riley at the last minute when they realize they don't have enough to keep her. I mean, yeah, I could see that happening, but the way he's just like assuming or like demanding that it's going to be unanimous, it's a lot. So Riley, Jag, and Matt have a game chat in the scary bedroom. They're trying to regroup now that they know nominations are most likely going to be staying the same. So Jag is asking Riley, do you know, is Cerie's vote solid this week? And Riley brings up, well, Cerie did pinky promise that she would vote to keep me this week. And she wouldn't go back on that. She wouldn't do that to me. I think she might go back on that. I do remember Cerie promising her vote to Riley for sure. She definitely did do that, but I don't think she's going to stay true to that. Anyway, Jag says, we really need to be tight-lipped about the whole Cerie situation, about her potentially working with us, because if we can keep this under wraps, we can keep blindsiding the other side week after week after week. It reminds me of like a level 6 Faute situation. But yeah, Jag says if we can pull this off, this meaning keeping Riley, it's going to set the other side into disaster control mode. They're not going to know who flipped. Fessy, who flipped? So Riley is wondering, maybe I could also get Red's vote because I've gotten pretty close to him. And Jag's like, yeah, but Cameron is Red's guy. Remember, like Cameron, the person that you're nominated next to? For real though, wake up. You really think you're gonna get Red's vote when his boy is up on the block? All right, but anyway, a little later, Blue and Riley chat in the scary bedroom, and Blue is telling Riley it's gonna be okay. Do your thing. Make sure when you start campaigning that you tell people what you can contribute to their game. You are a strong asset. Everyone knows you're a strong competitor. So remind them you can win competitions and you can protect them. She says Heisum can't protect everyone. I mean, he's been winning a lot of comps so far. But anyway, they're counting Riley's potential votes to stay. And they're like, Blue, Jag, Matt, America. Okay, those 4 I could potentially see, right? Like that is realistic. But then they're also listing Corey, Jared, Cerie, which would bring them to 7. 7 votes for Riley to stay. So just a reminder, you need 6 to tie and 7 to stay outright this week. Now, if it ever goes to a tie, you can believe that Heisum's going to be voting Riley out. So she would need at least 7 to stay. And she does not have all those votes that they were listing. Corey, Jared, and Cerie, But they're like, oh my God, it's going to be really close. We can do this. So there was also some speculation that Bowie, coming off of her Nether region stint, may be able to take away someone's vote this week. Now, I don't think that this was actually like an official thing yet, but people have been talking like it is a possibility, and it could be a possibility for sure. So they're like, okay, if Bowie's going to be able to take away a vote, we got to make sure that we have some more locked in just in case. So they're going to try and pull in Felicia as well. Good luck. Okay. Meanwhile, Jag is chatting with Cerie in the bathroom. And Cerie's like, this is not a good situation for Riley, right? With Heisum winning the veto. And yeah, she said everyone is afraid to go against certain people. Heisum. And Heisum is expecting this vote to be unanimous. So it's like, what do you do? Jag is saying, well, it could be a blindside to keep Riley this week, but we would need your vote to make that happen. So Jag says Riley and Cameron, they're both on the block for different reasons, right? They've both shown their cards. Riley made it very clear that she was targeting Heisum last week. I mean, after, she couldn't make her own nominations, whatever. She was targeting Heisum last week. Cameron, on the other hand, has shown that he is untrustworthy. And Jag says, if I look at the two of them, I would rather work with Riley moving forward, right? She's loyal, whereas Cameron is a flip-flopper. So Cerie agrees, yeah, I do not trust Cameron. We agree on that for sure. So Riley comes in and joins them. And they're both asking Cerie, would you be comfortable voting to keep Riley this week? And Cerie is like, well, I'm a little bit worried that some of the other votes that you think you have are going to fall through. And then I'm going to be, left there holding the bag. I'm going to be on the wrong side of the vote. And Heisum is going to be pissed. So Jag says, yeah, but Heisum's never going to suspect that you were the one that flipped. Cerie says, I see what you're saying, but the problem with that is that you guys keep telling people that you have my vote. So my name is being associated with this. And Cirie says, if I'm going to do this, it needs to be incognito. You need to tell people that you don't have my vote, right? Don't even tell anyone that we had this conversation. Don't tell anyone outside of this room about any of this, because if it gets back to Heisum, I'm done. Is Cirie flipping or what? Like, what's going on here? I remember being like, is this for real? Like, is she going to try and convince her alliance to keep Riley? Is she just lying? Like, what's the deal? So it was looking very uncertain at the time. But after, Riley and Jag are chatting alone, and Riley says, we have been talking about these votes with our alliance members. Everyone in our group knows that Cirie is supposed to be voting with us. So now we have to tell them all to stop talking about it. So Jag says, yeah, you're going to have to go back to saying that you don't know what the deal is with the votes. And we're going to need to pick someone from the other side to pin Cirie's vote on. And he's thinking maybe Red, Bowie, or Mimi. There's not going to be a Cirie vote to pin down, whatever. But anyway, Jag is advising Riley, stay away from Cirie. Don't make it obvious that she is involved in this whole vote flip. Like, we need to protect her if she's going to do this for us. So then Riley starts like going around telling her allies, keep quiet about Cirie's vote. Like, I have it, but you can't talk about it. She doesn't want anyone here to know, blah, blah, blah. She can't stop. She can't keep her mouth shut. But anyway, a little later, Cirie is checking in with Jared at the pool, and we get the truth. Well, first of all, Cirie is saying, Izzy holds both of our lives in this game because she knows their secret. She knows that they are mother and son. So Cirie says, even outside of that, she really likes Izzy. And she feels bad because it's hard to convince Izzy of that when she holds so much power, the secret over them. She doesn't want Izzy to think that they're just working with her because they don't want her to spill. Cirie says if Jared wasn't playing, if he wasn't there, she would still probably work with Izzy, even though Izzy drives her crazy sometimes. I do think that they get along really well, and they're like really into the game and have a lot of fun strategizing together. So I could totally see that. But it just worked out that Izzy also knew their secret. So the feeds were off of Cirie and Jared for a few minutes, but when they come back, they're talking about this week's vote. And Cirie says, Riley is only going to have 3 votes to say this week. Jag, Matt, and Blue. They're not even confident that America is going to vote to save Riley. America the person. So Cirie says her reason, like her excuse for not voting to keep Riley when she's asked about it, is going to be like, everybody else was scared of Heisum at the last minute, so I felt like I couldn't do it. That's her story, and she's sticking to it. Okay, so there we have it. Cirie is not planning on voting to keep Riley at this point, but she is acting like it to Riley. All right, so then Cameron and Jared have a chat in the backyard. Cameron says he really wanted to win that POV competition. But at least now it's clear what a huge threat Heisum is, right? He's got 3 comp wins under his belt now. And they're talking about how Heisum is on a power trip. He is not handling all of this power well. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Jared is talking about targeting Heisum as soon as next week. Ooh. Cameron, on the other hand, is worried. Maybe it's too soon. He's new to that side of the house, right? If you could consider him to be on that side of the house with Heisum and co. And he's like, I don't really feel like I have a voice with that group yet, so I don't know if I would be able to pull off a move like that. And then, if he did try to target Heisum and it didn't land, yikes. But Jared's like, no, people would support this move. People are tired of being told what to do. Heisum's been doing a lot of that the last few days. So Cameron brings up, when it was pitched to me to join the side, it was pitched as a democracy, but I didn't want what's happening this week to happen, and that's why I'm up on the block. You're on the block because you're a flip-flopper. You're not actually a part of that side. You are not part of that democracy, even if it's not a democracy. But anyway, yeah. Cameron says Heisum is the one who's now drawing the line and splitting the house. And I would have to agree with that. Heisum is on a humongous power trip right now. HOH-itis to the max. I'm surprised he doesn't realize that he's got HOH-itis, considering he's a doctor. Like, he's going to need somebody to check him out and diagnose that. But anyway, meanwhile, Suri and Izzy are touching base on the Sky Bridge, and Suri is telling her all about Riley and Jag trying to get her vote. And Riley thinks that she has Suri, Corey, and Jared voting to keep her. So Suri makes it clear to Izzy she is not voting with the other side. Don't get it twisted. And again, she's sharing her excuse. I'm going to say that, we got freaked out by Heisum at the last minute, and that's why we didn't vote to keep her. So, I mean, they feel like it's a pretty believable excuse because they agree Heisum is a pretty commanding force. He's an immovable object. And Suri says, we got to be careful here. We got to make sure that the bye-bye bitches make our own decisions, right? That's that alliance of 5 within the professors, right? We've got Suri, Felicia, Izzy, Nicole, and Bowie. So they don't want to lose their voice in working with the professors. So Suri says, I'm fine with taking out Riley this week, but like, why are we not talking about Cameron? Why is there no discussion about Cameron? And Izzy agrees. She says Cameron is going to be going back and forth all game. Oh, he is. He just jumped over to this side, and now he's like, Heisum? No. So, yeah, they're supposed to be having a professors meeting later, which we will talk about. And Suri says, I'm going to let Heisum take the lead on that. We'll see what he has to say about the plan moving forward. And Izzy brings up an important point. Heisum is trying to create a collaborative collective by dictating, right? He's not letting other people have any say in what they're doing. Yeah, it's a lot, and people are not happy about it. So Suri and Izzy both agree they want to make sure that Cameron is going to be the target next week after Riley is gone. They don't want Cameron slipping through the cracks here because they're noticing Heisum is getting pretty comfy and cozy with Cameron. So they don't want that. All right. Everyone is talking about Heisum now, and not in a good way. Corey, America, and Riley were chatting at one point. They're all talking about targeting Heisum next week. They agree it's got to be a backdoor, right? Because he's just too strong in competition. So you can't put him up on the block and give him that chance to win the veto. I mean, he thinks that backdoors are cowardly, but that's not going to stop other people from doing that to him. So Jared, Izzy, and Suri were also all talking about Heisum, and they're saying now as soon as they can take the shot, they've got to take it, even if it's as early as next week. Dang, that would just like really shake things up though if Heisum wasn't there. I'd be a little bit worried for the professors because I do think that they can win competitions, but I mean, Heisum is really winning competitions. Like, I don't know if they're going to be as dominant in competitions without him. And also, I would be worried if I was Jared because I think he's going to be a strong competitor. And once Heisum is gone, like, people are going to be looking for new compies to target. But anyway, Felicia chats with Heisum in the HOH room. And Felicia says, last week, she told Riley, if you help me stay, I will return the favor and vote to keep you if you're up on the block next week. And look where we are. Riley is up on the block. So Felicia is telling Heisum, I wouldn't let anyone know beforehand what I was doing so that it wouldn't like sway any votes or affect anything. She says, I do not want Riley to stay. Just want to make that clear. I just want to keep my promise to her. I don't want you to think that I'm like flipping here. So Felicia says, I don't mind not doing it. I'm willing to do what you want this week. So Heisum immediately shuts this down. He is not having this. He says, Riley's a good player. I want to make sure she leaves this week. And, if you're voting for her to stay, maybe this person's voting for her to stay, this person, it all adds up. And then what do you know? She ends up staying. He says things ripple really quickly in this house. So another thing to think about, if you do vote for Riley to stay, that means you're voting Cam out. He's Cam now. Jeez. So yeah, Heisum is saying it's going to distance Cam from you. You don't want that. I think Felicia would want that. But Heisum says anyone who associates with Riley is going to become toxic. So, yeah, Heisum tells Felicia, you were going to stay last week anyway. And Riley had nothing to do with that. So you don't owe her anything. You don't have to worry about that. You do not owe her. So Heisum makes it clear he would prefer that Felicia just vote Riley out. Okay. So later, Jag and Blue are strategizing in the backyard, and they're talking about wanting to get an alliance going with Heisum, and maybe eventually also pulling in Izzy, Sari, and Felicia as well. What is this? But a little bit later, Jag did say, like, no, I just want it to be the three of us, you, me, and Heisum. Like, we don't need all those other people. So anyway, they go over to the patio to talk to Heisum. And Heisum just right off the bat is like, so, have you guys been thinking about what happens post Riley? Oh my God. That's a lot. That's quite a question to start off with. You're making a lot of assumptions there, and it's a lot. Like, how is he not realizing this? But anyway, they say that they've been wanting to chat with him and they would be interested in working with them, in working with him. What am I doing? So Blue says, I really want a loyal, supportive group of people who are all fighting for a bigger purpose. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the same purpose. But she says, when I was thinking about that, your name popped up. It makes sense. So Heisum is like, all right, well, are you two going to work with the same people after Riley's gone? Or are you going to kind of move away from that? Meaning, are you still going to be working with Family Style and Handful, all that? So Blue says, I want to start playing my way. Feels very vague, but okay. And Heisum says, like he said before, he's not going to go against either of them. As he's told Jag, he doesn't want any brown on brown violence. And with Blue, they're both part of the LGBTQ community, so he does not want to be putting her in danger. How honest is he about all that? But in this conversation, they didn't really solidify anything, but there were talks about, like talking about it again in the future. I think Heisum was also saying, like, I got to see what happens here with Riley leaving and all that. Okay, so a few quick things here. Corey and Sari chatted. They were touching base, and Corey let her know, hey, Riley is still running around talking about your vote for this week. And Sari was like, that's really dumb. She told her not to do that. So Corey says also he is on board to take out Heisum the first chance that they get. The numbers are growing. Also, we have Jag approaching Sari again about voting to keep Riley. And I feel like Sari's getting really frustrated. She does not want to be in these conversations anymore. Sari is starting to back away now from voting for Riley to stay. She says, there's too much talking about my vote going on here. Riley's been like running her mouth and it's making me nervous. I'm getting scared. I don't want my name tied to this. So Sari is letting Jag know, though, even if Riley does go this week, she would still like to work with Jag moving forward. And Jag reciprocates. Okay, so Jag and Blue touch base and they're starting to wonder, are we like being dumb by trying to keep Riley? Is this going to bite us in the ass? I mean, they're trying to start an alliance with Heisum, right? If they vote to keep Riley, I don't think he's going to be very happy about that. They feel like no one from the other side is going to want to work with them if they vote to keep her. Yeah, probably, right? So they've realized we really can't risk splitting the vote unless we know for sure that we have the numbers to keep Riley this week. They don't. As of right now, they don't. So, yeah. Here's something crazy. The professors were very bold last night. All 7 of them met for a strategy sesh in the HOH room. And it's not like this was like 3 or 4 in the morning. This was at 8 p.m. Early bird special. How did they think that this was a good idea? It just boggles my mind, especially since Heisum last week when Riley and her alliance were meeting up in the HOH room. Heisum was watching the door to see like who was going in and out of the room, you know, trying to suss that out. And he thinks it's going to be okay for his alliance to all get together in the HOH room, and like especially that early in the evening. What? So they met up there for like 30 minutes. It was Heisum, Izzy, Sari, Felicia, Nicole, Bowie, and Red. So all 7 of them. And they're sharing Heisum's alcohol from his HOH basket. Cheers. And Felicia is like, this is the jury. And Heisum says, yeah, the jury and the winners. Let's not jump the gun here, people. You know, things are about to go downhill when you just start thinking like, this is it. You know, this is endgame, final 7. This is happening. Some of the people in this room are probably not going to make the jury. Like, Heisum. But anyway, Heisum says he's really proud that their group came together and they are going to surprise the shit out of the other side of the house. So Heisum says we all need to be ready because now that Riley is going, the other side is going to be trying to pull us into new alliances. So he says no new alliances allowed, nothing with a name. Okay. So Heisum says we also really need to keep an eye on Cameron, Jared, and Cody. He meant Corey, but yeah, he's still calling Corey Cody. He says those 3 are getting really close, and it's only going to be a matter of time before the 3 of them start working together. So we need to keep an eye on that situation. That's going to need to be broken up at some point. So then the group is talking about how they all need to pick out a buddy from outside of the alliance, very much the cookout brigade strategy, because they really want to avoid situations where 2 people from their alliance are nominated together, right? Because then they're forced to get rid of one of their numbers. But if everybody has a buddy that they are associated with more closely, you know, there's a good chance that you would go up on the block with your buddy, and then hopefully your alliance would vote that person out instead of you, so you don't lose any numbers. So that is the idea behind that. Yeah. Red is asking, what do we do if we're offered an alliance? Excuse me. And Heisum says, like, of course, you don't want to turn it down, right? Because that's never a good idea. People are going to be looking at you funny if you do that. But if it is like a named alliance, you've got to tell the rest of the group about it, right? We can't have secrets like that. So you need to spill to everybody. And on that, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. In that same vein, Heisum shares that Jag and Blue have already approached him about trying to work together. Just the irony of the situation, though, that like at least half of this alliance that he's talking to right now are ready to cut him next week, as soon as next week. But Jag and Blue are actually trying to get something going with him, and I think they would actually try to keep him safe for a while. So it's just absolutely wild that he's like selling them out now. And Heisum is saying he wants Jag out next and then Blue. I mean, he's given out orders here, and I don't think the rest of his alliance is on the same page about this, right? Like a lot of the bye-bye bitches want Cameron out next. So anyway, another point of interest during this meeting, Heisum says that he wants to stop winning so much because he's worried that it's going to put a target on his back. Too late. Yeah, it's too late. There is already a humongous target on Heisum's back, and the way that he's acting is not helping. I mean, it's one thing if you win a lot of competitions and you're like really cool about it, but it's definitely getting to his head. Okay, so after the, I'm sorry, but like obnoxious professors meeting, Izzy, Sari, and Felicia are chatting. And they all agree, like Heisum did not do himself any favors with that meeting. They talk about how he is power tripping hard right now. And again, they're saying they plan to take him out the first chance that they get because he thinks he's running the show. He's doing everything he accused Riley of doing last week. Yep. And I mean, it's going to get to a certain point in the game where he could potentially win out the rest of the season. So they need to take him out when they have the chance to do it. So Izzy is getting all fired up. She's like, I'm not going to let another man railroad his way to the end by using us. Hell yeah. And she does, you know, they don't like that Heisum is trying to tell them all what to do. If they want to make an alliance with someone, they're going to make an alliance with someone, and they're not going to be telling everybody else about it. All right. So here's something for funsies. Corey and Blue swapped clothes last night for a bit. They were both in pink, and Corey's outfit, Blue's outfit that Corey was wearing, it reminded me so much of the Western Barbie outfit in the Barbie movie with the pink and the vest and the bell bottoms. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, what are you waiting for? It's so freaking good. But anyway, they had a little fun with that last night. Nice. Okay, today, back to business. They had the power veto ceremony, and as expected, Heisum did not use the power veto, which means that Riley and Cameron are still up on the block. But that wasn't enough. Heisum decided to add insult to injury, and apparently he said in his speech that Riley is his target, and he was asking everyone to vote her out. And apparently it was pretty bad, pretty harsh, because a lot of people were talking about it after and thinking that's not cool. And that's going to be getting Riley a lot of sympathy because it was too far. Why? You know what's going to happen this week. Why do you have to do that? That's bad, especially since Heisum was all like, we need to be positive. We need to make sure everybody feels included. No one should feel left out, blah, blah, blah. Why? It got to his head. But yeah, as of now, Riley will still be leaving. So in other news, the house guests are wondering if Bowie will get to take away someone's vote again because of the nether region twist. This has not been confirmed anywhere. It's just speculation right now, but it's causing some debate amongst the professors about who she should pick if that happens. So Heisum is giving out his orders. He thinks that Bowie should pick Matt. Take away one of Riley's votes. Really guarantee that she leaves, and you can sell it to Matt like you're doing him a favor, right? Because you're making it so that he doesn't have to vote out his friend Riley and potential showmance Riley. Yeah, you're really doing him a favor. Suri, on the other hand, is like, why would we do that? Because what if there's some sort of power involved and you're giving it to the other side? We need to keep this in our group. So Suri says, pick me just in case. Plus, Suri is thinking, okay, if I don't have to vote this week, then I don't have to piss off Riley for voting her out. And I'm still good with my alliance. I'm still good with everybody. So there's different ways of thinking about this, but yeah, differing opinions here. So then Heisum is realizing, he made a boo-boo by making that speech during the POV ceremony. He's realizing he took it too far. So he apologizes to Riley for his POV speech. I think he also apologized to Jag and Matt for this POV speech. He says, I didn't mean to hurt Riley. I took it too far. Blah, blah, blah. That wasn't my intention. I mean, at least he apologized, I guess, but get it together, dude. Read the room. So we've got 3 days left until the eviction, 3 more days for Heisum to blow up his own game. And like I said, as of right now, it seems like Riley will be leaving, but you never know what could happen, especially if Heisum is going to keep wilding out. So yeah, that's where we're at. Yay, Bowie!
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. I know people were missing you saying that.
Oh, were they?
Yes. I want to thank our super chatters today. You guys are amazing. NM1000, thank you so much. Maintenance Chick, thank you so much. And Maintenance Chick says, thank you, Maddie and Janet. Thank you for watching and for supporting us. William Dang, thank you so much. Bubby, you doing a little tap dance?
Yeah.
Yes. William says, hey, I enjoy your updates and spoilers. I feel the vote is going to eventually flip on Cameron due to anti-Heisum sentiments. In my opinion, it's the best move for Suri. I was kind of wondering the same thing. It might just become too much, especially if Heisum continues down the path he's been going. People might keep Riley in order to go after Heisum, right? Because Cameron is kind of up Heisum's butt a little bit, but not as much anymore now that there's talk of targeting him. But yeah, I mean, I think Riley would be more likely to take Heisum out than Cameron would be. So I think it would kind of be smart to keep Riley around, maybe, if that's your end goal. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see if she's a strong campaigner or if people are just already decided that they're going to vote her out. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this week plays out because I don't think she's just going to give up, nor should she. So yeah, thank you again. And thank all of you guys. We will be back tomorrow for more. So we hope you join us.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh, Mary Ellen L., thank you so much for the super chat, as always. And we'll see you tomorrow. So until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye. Oh.